What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Post-to-Post podcast. This week's episode is episode 104. With me, as always, my co-host, Matt Small.
Yo, yo.
How we doing, buddy? Excited for the Super Bowl next Sunday?
Freezing cold and no.
Yeah, we got a big game coming up. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Who you got?
So excited.
Pick a team. Pick a team, and then be a massive fan this week.
Just
go ham.
Just die hard.
What do you think?
Just all of a sudden, just get rid of all my hockey stuff and just stop buying jerseys left and right.
What do you think? Who are you going
Who the
with?
hell's playing again? Cincinnati, you said?
Kansas City Chiefs and
Kansas.
the Philadelphia Eagles.
Chiefs, I guess.
Ready for a pop quiz? What state is Kansas City in?
Missouri?
Nice job. Nailed it. There is a Kansas City, Kansas as well.
Really?
There is, yeah.
Oh, I
Isn't that
didn't know
funny? Yeah. So
interesting.
you're a big Chiefs
Wow.
guy now, huh? Scumbag.
Yeah,
Hate those guys.
I'm a Chiefs guy now. Yep.
There you go.
I'm a-
I do want the Eagles to win personally, but I don't know if they'll be able to get the job done.
Interesting.
Chiefs are really good.
I don't know. I don't know where to go from that because I
That's all right.
just don't watch football.
You know
so-
why? It's because there's not a lot of hockey going on this week. We are in the middle of the All-Star weekend. We watched a little bit of the skills competition tonight. The games are going to be this weekend, and we are recording on Friday, February 3rd. And yeah,
On
you
a
guys you'll get this on
Freezing fucking cold Friday.
yeah, you get this on Monday, February 6th.
By the time we be warmed up in Boston, New England. Right now, there's an absolute freeze going on right now.
It's basically wintertime. Matt's just being dramatic.
This is different than wintertime.
It's wintertime.
It's not. When you told me that 5 o'clock p.m. Was it tomorrow? That
5
if you're
a.m.
out-
tomorrow. Yeah,
5 a.m.
7
tomorrow. If you go out for like what? You said 5 minutes, 7 minutes.
5, 10 minutes, you can get frostbite.
You get frostbite. That's not like normal winter.
That's wintertime, dude. That's wintertime.
It's wintertime, but it's not normal wintertime.
New England wintertime, baby.
It is freezing cold.
Weather's weather. You know that?
Yeah, you're right about that. It do be like that sometimes.
Yeah, all the time, actually. It's wild. Speaking of wild, we got some crazy news coming out of Vancouver this week. As you all probably know, you diehard NHL fans. The Vancouver Canucks have traded Bo Horvat to the New York Islanders in exchange for Anthony Beauvillier, Atu Ratti, and a conditional first-round pick in 2023, which is top 12 protected. The Canucks will also be retaining 25% of Horvat's salary.
Nice. So is that going to help you change any of the picks you have? Because I feel like...
Well, I'm like 90% sure that the Islanders were in the playoffs in my prediction, so I'm really hoping that this will help me a little bit. And I don't think I put the Vancouver Canucks in. I could be wrong. But I don't see the Islanders getting in personally. This isn't what's going to get them over the hump.
I was talking about the picks that we make every day.
Oh, God. Yeah. Those I'm not doing well in. I think I've won two of them.
No. I had a beautiful comeback. What was it? The Carolina Hurricanes versus LA Kings. What did I have? I had the Carolina Hurricanes, and they were down like 4-1 in the third. I was like, it's all over.
Yeah.
Fucking absolute comeback from them. I was like, damn. It was that game. I was like, I'm starting to feel bad for it right now.
Yep. Yeah, and then I picked the Bruins to beat the Hurricanes. I was like, they're not going to drop 3 in a row.
And then they did.
Then they did, and then I was like, okay, the Maple Leafs are going to beat them. Then if they'll drop 3 in a row, they'll drop 4, and then they beat the Maple Leafs. I'm like, okay. So I'm going to be jacked by the end of this hockey season. Matt and I have a running thing of 20 push-ups for whichever team loses. If you lose, you bet.
Yeah, Chris is going to be ripping through that sweat hoodie he's got going on.
Yeah.
He's hiding all the muscles right now.
Yeah. I got the Daniel Negreanu status going on with the big-ass hood. I got my headphones on under here, but
beard and everything.
keep me nice and warm.
Reading everyone's mind.
Yeah.
But, I want to go back to the Bo Horvat stuff. One last thing before we really dive into it. Fun fact, things seem to have come full circle with Lou Lamoriello here. In 2013, he traded the 9th overall pick to Vancouver for goalie Corey Schneider. And with that pick, the Canucks drafted Bo Horvat. 10 years later, Lamoriello will acquire Horvat in this trade to the Islanders, and Corey Schneider also plays for the Islanders as well. Horvat has 31 goals and 23 assists this season. Beauvillier, that's part of the trade, has 9 goals and 11 assists. And Atu Ratti, that was part of the trade, played his first NHL season this season, having 2 goals in 12 games played. With that said, how'd you feel about this? We know Bo Horvat was going to be traded, but how'd you feel about this trade altogether?
I think that the New York Islanders actually came out pretty nice in this because this year's draft is like one of the best classes that we've seen in a long time, obviously with Connor Bedard, but it's just very deep. There's a lot of opportunity in that first round, and they're giving away that first-round pick, but if it's in the top 12, they get that pick back, and they give them one in 2024 instead. So they're not really losing anything because after the top 12, it probably dips off a little bit. Like it's not that much to give away.
Yeah.
Retaining 25% of the salary on the Canucks side is huge for them, I think.
Yep.
Bavilier going out, yeah, he's had like a light season with 9 goals, 11 assists, but bringing Horvat in, I think, is going to be good for them. I don't think it's going to be enough to get them over the hump, like I mentioned, but I don't see them really giving all that much away in exchange for a guy like Bo Horvat and a guy that wanted out of Vancouver. I think the big question mark is going to be, is he going to re-sign on the island?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess kind of wait and see, but Islanders good pickup for good pickup for the Islanders here with Lou Lamoriello, and I'm thinking maybe he'll sign since Lou Lamoriello was the guy that was actually looking for him in the draft. I don't know. Well, no, he traded that pick away. I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see what happens. But I like the Islanders. I think the Islanders looked really good in the 2020 COVID season, and they kind of just, I don't want to say too bad fell apart, but they're not looking as good this season. So I don't know if maybe the Bo Horvat, he'll settle into like, what are you thinking, second line?
Yeah, I do think
line?
they'll use him as their second line guy, just because like it adds a little depth. You don't want to throw off the first line by throwing a new guy in there and messing with the mojo. You know, let him slot in, get his feet wet, get used to his line mates, and go from there. I think the main issue at the end of this season is going to be contract negotiations, just because like the salary cap on the Islanders, I don't think is too great right now. They're looking at a lot of like dead cap space. So I think, you know, they definitely want to get this guy signed, but it's going to be a matter of, does he want to stay there?
Right.
And they're going to need to, you know, show him a little map of what their future looks like in order to convince him to sign there, I think. But that's going to determine who wins this trade, I think.
Mm-hmm. I think right now, for Bo Horvat's sake, I think he's on a good team compared to the Vancouver Canucks. And this week, actually, we found out that Thatcher Demko wants out as well. So there's been a list of Vancouver Canucks players that just like...
I saw rumors that they might be looking to ship him, but I didn't see that he wanted out. You saw something that said he wanted out? Wow.
Yeah, there's a thing that said Thatcher Demko said he wanted out of the Vancouver Canucks, which means it Spencer Martin and... what's the other one? But... yeah, it's a big. That'll be a big loss for the Vancouver Canucks. I really like Thatcher Demko. I really speak highly of him. I think any team that picks up Demko is gonna have a great goalie on their hands. But that's gonna happen trade deadline maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's coming up. I think we got another month till that comes around. So,
so this is really just like the beginning of everything coming in. But this is the big trade for the Vancouver Canucks. Yeah, big loss for them. I wouldn't say loss, but I would say just like the first step to Vancouver Canucks resetting everything, you know?
Yeah, and Bavilier isn't, you know, I think he had a down year this year. I think he's a very good player. He's definitely a good, you know, middle six guy. And bringing him over, I think, is great for the future. And you get those, you know, first-round picks and, you know, a good prospect. So I think it's a win-win, you know, for both directions that both these teams are heading.
Right. Gotcha. We're going to move on to the Washington Capitals here. The Washington Capitals made a sign, and they signed center Dylan Strome to a 5-year, $25 million contract, which is $5 million AAV. Strome has 11 goals and 25 assists, which is second most on the team this season. Nice little sign for him. He's part of. We just found out he's the first line with Ovi, so really setting in with the line here with Ovechkin. So great sign. I don't know. I feel like it's not much to talk about. He's just like a solid player that the Washington Capitals want on their team, and I think that's a solid sign for him.
Yeah, I feel like this is a big year for him. I think it's his second year with the team. Seeing him on the first line was a little surprising to me. They're breaking up that Ovechkin-Backstrom combo that we've seen in the commercial a million times. But yeah, I think that he's overproducing with the line he's on, and they're happy with where he is. $5 million for a first-line center. If you look at it like that, that's nothing nowadays, you know?
Right.
Most first-line guys are making 7-8, so a guy like him to lock up for the next 5, I'm okay with that.
Yep, 100%. For the last bit of news here, the Columbus Blue Jackets have claimed forward Lane Peterson off of waivers from Vancouver. Peterson played 18 games with the Abbotsford Canucks with 17 goals and 7 assists. Peterson, I don't have his stuff on here, but when you look him up, he's kind of been bouncing around a bit. I think he was with New Jersey Devils at one point, but he's kind of bouncing around a bit. And I don't know, I feel like with the Columbus Blue Jackets being one of the worst teams, not a bad pickup for them, for a guy that wants to really show himself in the league.
Yeah, for a waiver wire grab, I think it's definitely good. I mean, the Vancouver Canucks and just like up, down, left, right with this guy a little bit this season. Same thing with, you know, most of the other teams he's been on. You know, he's one of those fringe guys that's doing well in the AHL but can't quite get over the hump in the end. And yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks for Vancouver. They were probably just hoping that, let's send him down real quiet, hope he gets through and put him in the AHL for another year and let him develop. But
Right.
the Blue Jackets, hopefully this guy will turn it around and get up and be in that bottom 6 lineup because there's plenty of room to grow with that team and earn yourself a roster spot.
100%. All right, so let's get into the real NHL news here. And by real, we're going to talk Jersey Mike's here. Have you heard Jersey Mike's or had it?
Oh yeah, that shit's delicious, dude. This is the biggest news I've ever heard.
It's massive news. It's number one news on our list right now. I couldn't wait to finish up those signs and trades. So Jersey Mike's is the new official sub sandwich of the NHL.
Boom.
Boom. That's gonna be our title for this episode. Jersey Mike's NHL. That's gonna rope in everyone listening in.
It's my favorite thing about New Jersey. You know that? Jersey Mike's. No, dude,
That's saying a
Wawa.
lot.
It's actually Wawa. Wawa is fucking awesome. I think I talked about that on here before.
What is Wawa?
That convenience store, it's like a Cumberland Farms to us up here, but wicked good. They make really good deli sandwiches and it's just awesome. They have everything. There's a kiosk you walk in, punch it in the computer, everything you want on your sandwich, however you want it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's bomb.
Is
Wicked good.
Is it like a down south is
Is it
cult,
Buc-ee's?
Cult following.
Yeah, Buc-ee's, kind of, yeah. Yeah, same thing.
I didn't realize how big Buc-ee's was until I got back into wrestling and there's one of the wrestlers that I follow is in Japan, and I did a promo and he's wearing a Buc-ee's hoodie. I'm just how the fuck how did it travel all the way over there? It's insane how we talked about you just showed me the guy with the purple Teletubby thing that just randomly became a cult following. I think that's what Buc-ee's was. It's just a fucking store.
I wouldn't say it's a cult following. It's probably the greater part of the southeastern United States is all about Buc-ee's.
All about Buc-ee's.
Yeah, it's just something that we don't know about.
Apparently,
there's nothing to compare it to up here because I guess it would be Dunks.
Dunkin'
Donuts,
now,
but they're not the same thing,
No, I wouldn't go around repping a Dunks hoodie.
Oh, dude, mad people do though. You haven't seen that?
No.
Yeah, mad people rocking Dunkin', dude.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
I see the Dunks water coolers and shit that you could buy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not the same. It's a whole experience.
Want to go take a roadie down there and check out Buc-ee's?
No, not particularly, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
if you come up with something better, maybe I'll go.
I thought I'd
we
ask.
We can make a pit stop at Buc-ee's if we're down there. I'm not going to fly down to Tennessee and go to Buc-ee's.
The southern people, they just like to talk. They're a lot kinder down there. They're oh, what do you do down here? Oh, just checking out Buc-ee's and then going back to Boston.
Jesus Christ. What a trip.
What a trip that'd be. All right, so let's get into some news here with the by the time this drops, the All-Star game the All-Star weekend will be over with, but there's a few news here with the All-Stars, and if you don't see these guys on the ice, this is why. So for the Seattle Kraken, due to Matty Benier's injury, Chandler Stevenson from the Vegas Golden Knights will be replacing him at the All-Star game. And also, Buffalo Sabres' Rasmus Dahlin will be replacing teammate Tage Thompson at the All-Star game due to an upper body injury. So two little injuries and two additions there. So we saw Rasmus Dahlin today on the we were watching. It was the hardest slap shot.
Hardest shot. Yep.
Hardest shot. And it was actually that was actually pretty interesting because was it Dahlin we were looking at where just dude, it just seems like he's clapping him and they're only going 90 miles an hour.
Yeah, it felt like half of them were something was off. Instead of using the radar gun that they usually use, they had the puck with the chip in it, and there were sensors all around the rink to tell you how fast it was going. But I don't know, man. After Elias Pettersson's second shot, nothing else really got as much steam as that did, and his shot didn't look like it was as fast as some of the other ones that we saw.
No, exactly.
Might be a little bit of camera action that we don't realize, but
maybe because like you said, there were some shots that it's oh, that's a fucking bomb, and then it'd be 95.
Yeah,
and then we had who's that player? Elias Pettersson, who had a nice slap shot, and then we're just holy shit, 103 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Wow, holy fuck. But yeah, there was definitely something off because we watched Ovechkin where he took the slap shot. It was the first one that rang off the pipe. But wasn't the rule if it goes off the post, you get a second shot?
Yeah, it definitely said if you miss the net or if there's an error in the radar gun, you get another shot. I don't know. I thought it clarified that if you hit the post, you get another one too. But they basically, Ovechkin only got one shot that was tracked and recorded.
Yeah.
And he won it, I think, 5 years ago. I think he won 2018 hardest shot. I forget, though. I think he had like 101.3 or something like that.
Jeez. God. What was
He was like one of 3 forwards to ever win it too. It's
Really?
it's always defensemen that win it. And Pettersson is a defenseman. I'll look that up now.
I'll look that up because we're talking about Chara, who held the record for like I think it was like 3 years running. Like he was like the go-to for the All-Star game. Like, is he gonna beat the hardest shot? I think at one point it was like 104.
Pettersson's a forward. We
Then
suck.
105, 107. Could be wrong, but
Yeah, I think 108 was the top one. I don't know if he hit that or if Weber did. I think Weber was the guy that caught up to him.
oh man, imagine having that in practice.
Dude, it was Weber in practice in Nashville back in the day broke the boards with a slap shot that missed the net.
Oh, that's
Went
right.
straight through the boards out back.
Dude, no, I don't want to sit in front of that at all. Your own teammate just like imagine a shot like that will like break your cup. Think
Yep.
about that. If he gets it right, it's all over. Boys, Dunzos, Bunzos.
That's why I wear 2 cups.
That's why I did too. All right, well, we got some more Vancouver Canucks. I guess better news here. Forward Ilya Mikheyev is done for the season with a partial ACL tear. Mikheyev has 13 goals and 15 assists in 46 games played this season. I would say this is a big hit for the Vancouver Canucks, but it really just there's no going up for them. It's just downhill. So you might as well just take the rest of the season off and figure shit out, and hopefully next season reset and.
Yeah, it
Get
does
back
kind
on
of
your
stink,
feet.
though, because Mikheyev was doing pretty well for the Leafs last season, and for him to come over to Vancouver, he could have like a bit of a bigger role, maybe get up another line in the roster. And he was kind of putting the puck in the back of the net there. 13 and 15 and 46 is really good, I think, for a guy like him. So definitely a tough hit for Vancouver, but I mean, when it rains, it pours. That's the phrase, right?
Yep.
We do have a Flyers update, too. Forward Zach McEwen will miss the next 5 weeks due to a broken jaw. He suffered the injury versus Minnesota when he got into a fight with Marcus Foligno.
That fight was kind of crazy. I was waiting for like the slow-mo of it to see where it came from. And I think Foligno got him with like the hook or something like that. And then they show Zach McEwen in the penalty box, and like they show him just like opening his mouth, like
He's like something's off.
Something's off.
But what I thought was big was he stayed in the box for 5 minutes for the fighting major, and then immediately went down the tunnel and got looked at. But like, if you're in his shoes, like you staying and sitting in the box is so much more valuable to your team, because if you go down that tunnel, someone else has to sit in the box for you for 5 minutes. So like, he's just sitting there suffering because he knows like, if I go now, someone else has to come in the box, and that's taken away from the team. You know what I mean?
I was
kinda nuts.
telling you maybe the adrenaline with the fight and everything. You like really didn't feel it. I think he knew like something was off, but I feel like after the adrenaline of like a nice hockey fight and stuff, like you don't feel it. I think it might have been not till like he like really calmed down that he's like, oh shit, like something's up. That's my thought. Of course, I've never really broken a jaw before on the ice, so
No. Knock on wood.
that's not wood. That's glass. Well, moving on. The Vegas Golden Knights forward Mark Stone is out indefinitely after undergoing surgery to repair his back. Stone has 17 goals, which is second most on the team, and 21 assists, which is fourth most on the team in 43 games played this season. Big hit for Vegas as they hold on to the third, and the Pacific only 2 points ahead of the Oilers. So not good for the Vegas Golden Knights. Bunch of injuries here that really suck, but not suck too bad for the teams. But this one's going to be a big hit for the Vegas Golden Knights here.
Yeah, definitely. For one of your top goal scorers to go down like that kind of sucks, especially where it's a back injury. Like you just picked up Jack Eichel from Buffalo. He got all his back stuff taken care of. Now you're losing another guy to a back injury. You're on a 4-game losing streak, slowly sliding out of the Pacific Division playoff run. Like you said, 2 points ahead of Edmonton. They could be on the outside looking in soon. 2-6-2 in their last 10. Definitely not looking good for my futures bet right now.
Futures bet?
Yeah, I got four picks for the Stanley Cup. Remember?
Oh, that's right. Holy shit!
I think you have the Calgary Flames one. I forget what the 4 teams are. It's definitely the Flames, the Knights, and the Rangers. I got one more team, and I can't remember who it was.
We gotta find that.
I should have bought a Bruins one, dude. They were so good odds, but I was like, there's no fucking way. And now they're like the fucking best team in the league.
Right.
Like, nuts.
I don't think any of us saw that coming though.
No, absolutely not.
Fuck no. But is it too late now? Where'd you get them, by the way?
I mean, yeah, you could buy now, but the odds are going to be shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back then, I probably had like 45-1 odds, and now it's probably like 10-1.
Yeah, right.
Because they're definitely one of the best odds to win the cup this
Right.
season, I think. I was down in, I I think it was Mohegan Sun, the casino that I was at. We were in Rhode Island or Connecticut. But now, as of, I think, February 1st, sports betting is legal in Massachusetts. So
That's right. I saw something on Encore.
yeah, that place was jamming the day that they opened it up.
Dude, they're going to make so much fucking money. I didn't realize how many guys at work, like...
House always wins.
It's wild. Like, I didn't realize how many guys at work just, like... I guess you get a memberships there? So, like, they're always there. Like, good God. And it just never ends. Like, guys would just, like, leave work at, like, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And they're just like, yeah, I went to Encore last time. Like, they're open?
Yeah, I want to say they're open all night. They might not serve alcohol, but you can probably go there and, red eye some slot machines.
I want to check it out. Like, the most I've never been to a casino besides, like, Grand Theft Auto 5. I mean, I've been doing that a lot lately.
Have you been playing anything?
Yeah.
Like what, blackjack?
I've been playing blackjack.
Yeah, you get 5 threes like that clip I sent you?
21 in blackjack, yeah.
21 is blackjack.
Oh, then what's the
roulette
the other one?
with the ball and the wheel?
Yeah, I've been doing that too, fucking around. But yeah, I've been playing, like, it's wild. So I think I'm good, and then, like, some guys that are online will be there, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna join your table, and then I realize how fucking bad I am. I was like, all right, I gotta leave. I gotta skedaddle here. But you said you were gonna teach me, right?
Yeah. What do you want to play? Blackjack? What do you want to learn?
3-card poker.
Yeah, we can do it for sure.
I
You got to get the boys down because I can't really, like, just me and you play heads up. We can, but it's not as, you don't learn as much. You learn more when you play with a big group.
Yeah, we gotta do that. We gotta learn, and then like a year from now, just start robbing Encore.
Oh yeah, that'll work for you. Just like all the other degens that you work with, they're just rolling in the money.
Dude, it's bad. I didn't realize how bad it was. Like, at one point, one of my coworkers left. There's like, oh, I got $20,000. He had $20,000. He goes, that's the most I've ever had. But then I was like, how much have you lost before? And it was like up there. It was like, it was a shit ton of money. I'm like, ugh. See, like
you got to know what you're playing too. Like, you can't like roulette has basically the worst odds you can find in a casino. The slot machines are just like a solid loss. It's like a good way to just put your money in a machine and kiss it goodbye.
Yeah.
Like, you got to know what you're doing and which games you actually want to play too.
Interesting.
Sometimes some people play just for fun though. Like, at the end of the day, like, you put your money in the slot machine and, like, the odds, but it's like, I don't know, I'm sitting here having fun. It's whatever, and if I win, I win. If not,
well, fuck it. Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm just not a gambling guy though.
No,
so.
I don't know. I heard some spots, like, they give you, like, free drinks. Like,
oh yeah, a lot of casinos will. They'll come around
because they just keep wanting you to throw money in there.
Yep.
Bastards, they're gonna get me. But let's move on here to the Edmonton Oilers. We had another e-bug situation this week. As the Edmonton Oilers were without Stuart Skinner due to an illness, University of Alberta goalie Matt Berlin got to play the final few minutes of the Edmonton Oilers versus Chicago game. Small world, Stuart Skinner and Matt Berlin are actually childhood friends. Berlin, who again plays for the University of Alberta, has a solid 4-0-1 record with them so far. That was a cool little thing from him. The whole story too was like a very like last second thing. He's studying. He had like a huge test going on in like 3 days, and I think this was the night he said like he usually goes to his parents for like dinner, and then he calls up like, I gotta play.
No, that was the guy. Is it Owen Beck? I think that played for Montreal. He got his first game. He had to call his parents and cancel dinner.
Oh, that was it.
That was
I'm getting too mixed up. But yeah, dude, I love seeing this. I love the fact that they threw him into the net too. That was fucking cool as shit.
Yeah, I guess McDavid was like one of the guys that was really pushing for it. Like, hey, we need to give this guy a shot. You know what I mean? Just so he can have his moment, his time to shine.
Right.
I thought it was kind of cool to see like how young this kid was. He's still in school, things like that, and just like how personable this guy was. Like, I feel like, no offense to the other e-bugs, but like they're a little off. You know what I mean? A little older, a little goalie-esque. You know?
Yeah.
This kid was pretty normal. He was shooting it up and just kicking it with the reporters. I thought it was cool.
Yeah. Some e-bugs are just like, I don't know, just take it too far, like no personality. Like, I don't know, man. You just fucking relax. Go out there, have some fun. Be the Scott Foster, you know?
Yeah, I guess so.
Be the guy.
Scott Foster was a little weird, but anyways.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. Pittsburgh Penguins president of hockey operations Brian Burke will be donating $100 for every goal scored at the All-Star game this weekend, and $200 for every goal that Sidney Crosby scores to the You Can Play Foundation.
Sidney Crosby will be playing the entire 60 minutes that game. But can you imagine? Sidney Crosby just going to fucking light it up, and Brian Burke's going to be like, ah, shit.
Showing it out. He's got it. He's got money like that.
He's
That's
got
good.
money. Yep, so good for him. Good for Brian Burke. But I got to remember this because I want to throw it in our notes for next week so we can talk about how much they're going to put in.
Yep.
All together. So that'll be cool. That'll be a cool little stat to get back into next week.
And what I like about this, too, is, you know, we've seen issues this season with, like, the New York Rangers Pride Night and Ivan Provorov not coming out for the Philadelphia Flyers in the Pride Night jerseys. This is one way for the organization to make a contribution and get something done without putting any pressure on their players. You know what I mean? And it's probably not something that's league promoted in a sense. Like, they're not going to be like, hey, you're the president of Hockey Ops, we need you to pay. But this is one good way to do it, so like you don't have to put that pressure on your team, and the spotlight doesn't go, you know, turn negative once your guys, you know, one or two of your guys don't want to do it. So
Right.
I thought it was pretty cool to see.
That's really cool. Yep.
We do have Islanders news here too. Ilya Sorokin set a strange NHL record the other day. He currently has the highest percentage of starts that end in a shutout at 12.8%. At the time of this stat update, Sorokin had 14 shutouts in 109 games. He also revealed this week, too, which was kind of funny. He's the godfather of Igor Shesterkin's son. So that's why I always get them mixed up, because, you know, they're such close friends.
Because they're so close, yeah.
But yeah, 12.8% of the time that he's in net, no one scores. That's nuts.
That's a wild stat. That's all fucking good.
I wish I was that good.
Jesus Christ. And we just talked about him probably like a month ago. It was a game that he had that, like, he played bad. That's, like, in quotation marks. And he's going down the runway, and he's almost, like, breaking his stick. He's, like, punching the wall. I'm like, dude, you're playing better still than, like, most goalies in the league right now. Like, maybe just frustrated that he's still not, like, the Shesterkin of last year. But, Jesus Christ, dude, you're still, like, top goalie.
This stat's Sorokin, though.
I'm talking about Shesterkin now, yeah. But
I know what you mean, though.
Yeah.
They're both elite, dude. It's kind of cool to see a great, you know, duo on New York proper, and hopefully there'll be a good rivalry in 5-10 years down the line of like New York teams battling it out, because Buffalo should be pretty good around that time frame too.
Oh yeah.
And then New Jersey is red hot right now, so that whole metro area is it's gonna pop off, I think.
Oh yeah, 100%. I did want to I don't know if you want to keep talking. I there's this post because I saw Sorokin on there that I want to talk about. I actually sent you over the guy that creates. That's what I'm looking for. The guy that creates like the statue figures and everything.
Oh, yeah, yep.
He recently did one for Sorokin. And
of the paddle save that he had.
Fucking clean. And it should be like right here. And I actually wanted to bring it up on the pod and just like, you know, give this guy a follow. Here we go. So this dude's underscore hockey customs. And he makes like a bunch of these like figurines. It's like referees, goalies from like back in the day. What's this one? This is Tony Esposito from the 1972 Summit, and these come out so goddamn clean. Like the most recent one with Sorokin, it looks so good. So definitely go check him out on Instagram. I think he sells this stuff too, so I was actually contemplating on
probably ain't cheap
looking
though.
it up. Yeah, it's probably not cheap, but these come out.
They're all
clean.
handmade, hand painted, really sharp looking,
really
very
sharp
nice.
looking. Yep. So yeah, I wanted to bring that up, and I'm so glad I found that as quick as I did. So
super quick.
This is all you for the next thing.
Yeah, we had some beef here between Anaheim and Arizona this week. Battle of the toilet bowl. Trevor Zegras and Troy Stecher actually got into it as their two clubs faced off. Zegras was kind of mouthing off with like the referees in between them and said something that just made Stecher snap, and he was like clearly pissed. He was going after him for like 45 seconds to a minute, followed him over to the box, and the refs just like weren't allowing him near Zegras at all. There was a rumor that got around, and it's like basically people trying to read his lips and just kind of assuming what he said. Mm-hmm. But they thought that he said something about Troy Stecher's father who passed away last year. And we don't want to speculate or put any words in his mouth, but I feel like Zegras does tend to run his mouth a lot and not back it up physically when he needs to. Mm-hmm. In a way, like we saw it, he got into it with Marchand. And now this is where it gets really fucking weird, because Marchand decides to jump in on this situation that has nothing to do with his team, himself, like the club, anything at all. So a Coyotes reporter, Craig Morgan, tweeted out that he confirmed with a team source of the Coyotes that Zegras did not say anything about Stecher's father, but he did cross the line with some inappropriate comments. Marchand, who seemingly like just got out of Twitter jail or something, because he's been pretty radio silent lately, right?
Yep.
He went on a rampage before, and now he's back at it, dude.
It was almost like he was like banned from social media for a bit, and then got his stuff back, and he goes, "All right, I'm back on."
Yeah. So he saw this Coyotes reporter tweet that and just said, "Shut your pie hole, Craig." for no reason. But I was like, that's kind of hilarious. Like, what a weird thing to say. Like, so random. And then another reporter, Jacob Stoller, thought it would be a good idea to try to get to the bottom of why Marchand tweeted this. Marchand said, quote, nothing. I read the tweet, and that's what popped into my head, so I said it. Stoller wrapped up his tweet with that quote and just said weird at the end of it, right? Marchand replies to that and says, I'm sorry you didn't like my answer, Jacob. Would you like me to say something different so you don't have something so stupid to hang your career on? Great reporting this morning. And then Steve Dangle, who I think has a Leafs podcast or something. He's big with the Leafs community.
Steve, he does like the dang it's, and he's a huge Leafs guy. It's good when they suck because he'll
go nuts.
Yeah, he'll go nuts. But
so he decided to reply to Marchand's tweet there, going after Stoller now, and say, does that make you feel big? The fuck is this? Relax. And Marchand replies, was that your mighty, mighty roar, with this picture of him like crouching on his hands and knees. I'll put it right here for you guys to check out too. And then last but not least, Marchand's getting interviewed before the All-Star game. He's not going, but they would just some reason ask him about Mitch Marner. He like just chirps him about his goofy skates that are like all white with like pink and blue for the Miami Vice kind of look, but it has like his dog Zeus riding like an alligator and a shark and shit. And he just like chirps him about that and how he like likes video games and stuff, but then like walks it back a little. They were like, oh, do you know Marner? And he's like, no, he's a good guy. I always tell him he's my favorite player. I was like, that's fucking hilarious, dude. But I don't want to touch on the other tweets, but other fans were just tweeting at him like this is bogus, all this stuff, and he just started bodying people left and right, like shave your mustache, do this, like just chirping people nonstop. I'm like, wow, it was a lot, and it's all from something that had nothing to do with him, his team, like just felt like getting back on the internet, getting back at it, dude. So way to go, dummying people. It reminds me of that scene. I forget what movie it's from or commercial or whatever. It's a clip, and people meme it all the time with the dude just walking through the backyard, slapping everyone. The police show up. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That's him with fucking anyone that has anything to say. Shut him down.
The rat that he is, dude. Oh, my God. This was hysterical, though, because
it just went from one guy to the next guy, the next guy, the next guy, just down the line.
It did. And, like, the posts just kept coming because I was scrolling Instagram, and who did it? It was Steve Dangle, whatever the fuck, on Instagram, posted that photo. So I sent it to you. I'm like, the hell's going on? And then, like, you sent me, like, the other post from, like, the other stuff.
Yeah, because
like,
when it's not, like, on Twitter for you to see, you have to, like, kind of piece the puzzle pieces together, you know? It was funny.
Oh, my God. It was just hysterical. Like, just the type of guy like Marchand is to really get under the skin of people. But so we had to think, like, he tried so hard with Marner, but I guess Mitch Marner, they had him in an interview, and they're just like, how do you feel about that? He goes, I don't know, man. It's what I do in my spare time. It's what I like.
I think he's like so casual, and like he's not that unprofessional guy that's gonna blow it up and be like, no, fuck that guy. Like, I almost kind of want that too, though. Like, there's too much professionalism at the sense. Like, it sounds lame, but like WWE it up a little bit, just like fucking be like, no, dude, next time I see him, and then just do nothing. You know what I mean?
Just like promos, like, fuck that guy Marchand.
Yeah.
And then like all of a sudden, like, you get like
now you get a rivalry going. Yeah. Now we get a good series.
Now, like the week before, like a Boston like Toronto game, like there's like
you circling it on the calendar.
You circle it, you're like, oh yeah, I can't wait for them to get on the ice. You know, I think that'll boost the ratings up a little bit more for.
They'll give us something, man, because. Oh, I mean, let's jump into this next, actually. I was going to transition into All-Star Game stuff, but NHL viewership is down 22% this season, and you sent me a nice clip of a guy breaking it down about why. And one of the things is there's no real rivalry, no real hatred among the teams, and that I think is step number one of why it's gone down. But what else do you think?
So, I either DM'd you or I talked about this to a coworker of mine, but I think a lot of people... Not like you, because you still have cable, but a lot of people have left cable altogether. Like I told you, I haven't watched TV in years. Like everything I do is online. I watch all the hockey games I watch is online, and it's like it gets streamed to me, so it doesn't really hit that.
And how are you streaming them?
On a
website. Okay.
On a website.
On a website.
Yeah, on a website.
So that's part of the problem, I think, because those numbers aren't factored into NHL viewership too, right?
Exactly. But when I'm on that website, it's a lot of people fucking watching those games.
Yeah,
so they get to comment on it and stuff.
So maybe that's where the 22% went. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So I think the 22% viewership that's down is because the 22% of viewership are just like, I don't want to spend over $300 on fucking cable when I could just watch it online. And there they all are.
And from there, Chicklets talked about it a lot last season and it's still going on apparently, where Comcast/Xfinity, whatever you want to call them, in the Denver, Colorado area, the home market of the Avalanche, you pay for cable, you have cable, but the games for the Colorado Avalanche are blacked out in that market due to certain, cable agreements with other companies. So fans of the Avalanche can't even watch their own team's games, and they're paying a cable bill in order to do that, but they can't even watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that aspect of it. The no rivalry, the online streaming services. ESPN, I think we thought they were going to do such a good job. The panel looked really good, I thought, but they just don't care. They're not promoting hockey at all.
At all.
Granted, we are in the prime time peak of the NFL football season, which is their main focus. But at a certain point, why are you going to shell out all that money for the NHL's name, contract, all that stuff, if you're not going to promote it at all?
At all.
They're not mutually exclusive. You have to pick one and pump the numbers. The seasons overlap almost 100%. So you knew that going into it. You should just be promoting both equally. You should have an NHL department, a football department. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just, and I think the ESPN Plus thing too. There's a lot of different factors that went into this, but down 22% is so much, dude.
It's a lot.
That's bad.
And the streaming services suck too. We had a whole streaming conversation last week, and it just what do you go to? I had when I had cable, we had Comcast, and I kid you not, it just kept going up for nothing we've added. We had NHL Network, HBO, so whatever the fuck thing that was, a package deal that was, and the straw, what's what I'm looking for? The straw that broke the camel's back.
Yep.
Was we got a bill for almost $400 for we didn't add anything at all. It was just it just kept going up. I'm we're just gonna get rid of cable because we'll keep internet because all we do is just go on YouTube or other shit anyway. So, and I think that's that's why it's hurting these viewerships because they're not looking to the internet. They're just looking at the viewerships for people who have cable and everything. When in reality, people are leaving cable left and right. That's my thought.
Well, they are looking at the internet as well. They're just not factoring in, the illegal views in that sense. You know what I mean? I do think that I'll give them credit to their social media team for the NHL. Not necessarily ESPN. Like I said, they're not promoting it at all. But the NHL's social media and content game has gotten so good this season. Especially with the panel they have on TNT. They have a great, cast of characters that all bring something different to the table. I just think there's just content left and right. There's awesome storylines in the league that they're highlighting. Mm-hmm. I think they're doing a lot of things right there. But just to see that number, man, 22 is a lot.
Yeah.
That's bad.
For YouTube, too, NHL, YouTube, they'll do stuff like their highlight reels are terrible. I just refuse to watch them. But they do side stuff that's actually pretty interesting. But if you want to watch actual good highlight reels that show everything, Sportsnet. Go on Sportsnet YouTube and watch the highlights. They'll show fights. They'll show fucking everything. But for some reason the NHL when they do highlights, if there's a fight going on, I'll be no, I don't want to show that. I'm but this is what the fans want. You want to rope in people to watch this shit. The fans want fights.
Yeah, it's still a highlight as much as they're trying to get away from it in the league. It's part of the game. It happens, and it can be a major storyline and a turning point in a game. So
yeah, and we're talking about Leah Hextall too, who's kind of just not doing. What
she just
she's
gets a
supposed to be doing.
negative rep around the league, and there are so many great women in the NHL panels. Sophia, I don't even know how to say her last name, Jaskowski, the woman on NHL Network, whose name is slipping my mind right now.
Jackie Redmond,
she's fucking awesome. Yep. She's super like an open book, down to earth when you watch her. She's so casual on camera, but she knows a ton of shit too. It's just, it's something that Leah Hextall's doing that just people do not like. Yeah. So
it's kind of crazy.
I do like to see how much it's growing gender-wise, though. There's so many different women that are being featured. It's great.
Oh, yeah. Who was it? Was it San Jose Sharks? Their announcer is a woman? Am I wrong? I think it was a California team, right?
Yeah, isn't that Leah Hextall or no? She does play-by-play, which is why people don't like her. Or color, whatever.
Yeah, that might be it.
One of the broadcast members.
Yep. But
let's circle back to the All-Star game, though. Did you see the goalie masks? I mean, first off, let's start with Mitch Marner's skates, because we talked about those and I didn't get your opinion. What did you think about them?
They're cool.
You like them?
Yeah.
White and okay, all right. Not for me, man. No, I'm out on those.
That's why
They're terrible.
I never said they're great. I just said they're cool.
No, not cool. Lame.
That's
Lame
why Brad
duck.
Marchand gave him.
I think
shit.
it fits right in with like Marner's, fashion sense and like the stuff that like I guess is over my peasant head to like understand fashion as I sit here in a Carhartt hoodie. But I don't know. It just doesn't do anything for me. But the goalie masks I thought were incredible. I thought that they hit the nail on the head. They were flashy. They fit the line. What did you think?
I was trying to figure out when's the last time a goalie for the All-Star game had a painted mask or did anything custom for the All-Star game. I can't think. They gave you like the jerseys and stuff, but like for the most part, goalies just kind of just wore like their just regular routine shit. So I wonder if this was like a first for like the goalies in the All-Star game. But Vasilevsky's mask and Connor Hellebuck's mask look fucking sick. Like, they came out so fucking nice. If you guys are watching the YouTube, I'll put the photos down here for you guys. But holy shit, they were so silky smooth. And who was it? Is it was it Shesterkin? Shesterkin's in the All-Star game, right?
Yep.
He's got these new pads that match like the jersey, like the whole set.
Oh, that's cool. I hadn't seen those yet.
Yeah,
that's nice.
This is fucking beauty. So it was kind of cool for like a weekend, like just for like a weekend All-Star game for these guys to like really go all in and have like custom gear. Although it's really just like their gear sponsors like really pushing for this too.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not really finding anything on a guy, doing his own mask for the All-Star game, but I feel like they did, but I got nothing, and I can't find anything, so I can't back it up.
Usually in the All-Star game, it's just they just wear the same shit they do throughout the season. So this is the first time seeing it for me. So I thought it was really cool. But I sent you. Which one did you like more? I sent you the.
I like Vasilevsky's more, like the big cat with the glasses. It was sharp. It was nice looking.
Both are really nice looking.
And I think Hellebuck's was like clean and classy, but like it was just so much more to the All-Star game, the conference that he's in. Whereas Vasilevsky's like they call him Big Cat, and that's why the lion's on the top, like personal at the same time too. I felt like Hellebuck's backplate had a lot of personal stuff, but like the actual face of the mask was
it was nice.
Yeah,
good looking.
Yeah.
But yeah, as for Mitch Marner's, it was I don't know, fashion sense, baby. That's all.
That's right.
I don't know. I feel like skate stuff is like really give or take. I really like the Fenway Park like Winter Classic little things that they did. I thought those were sick.
Yep.
But sometimes like they're just like a little too much.
I think the brand is CCMs where like the part that Marner added the picture of his dog riding the shark and everything, like there's a little triangle that wraps around to both sides that's like where you would put like a design, right? And I think that's kind of cool where like the entire skate's normal, but like here's your little area. The thing that I didn't like about his skates was the fact it sounds weird because I don't have a problem with white skates usually, but like I didn't like the white skates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me though.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because like when they're black, the black CCMs with that one little area on the back heel that you can design your own way, like I think those look nice.
Oh, interesting.
Like especially like World Juniors when they had their country's flags and everyone's was the same, but just your country's flags went on your heel.
Yeah.
Those are sharp looking.
Those are sharp looking. Yep, I really like those. I don't know. It's cool to see all like the customizations you could do now. It's not just like these Nike Supremes that you can wear. It's
and
like,
the NFL was the first one to allow it. Like they started letting them do their own cleats for warm-ups and stuff. I think they can't wear them in the games unless they're promoted or like passed by the league or they just eat the fine sometimes. They just wear them anyways. They fuck you to the league. Just pay a fine.
Fuck it.
Imagine that. Like I want to wear my orange cleats today, so I'll pay the league fucking $20K just to wear my cleats.
Damn, really?
Right? It's nuts.
I remember before, I think Jeremy Swayman signed with True. He was still wearing like the gear, and this is last year, I think. And he had to because he wasn't signed with True, he had to take like the True name off.
Yeah,
of,
I've seen that
gear.
a lot.
Yeah.
They washed the name off.
I guess because if he wasn't signed with them, and he had it on there, I guess he would be like sued.
Breaching of contract, yeah, because you're only supposed to wear your brand's things. There was I think it was Michael Jordan. I forget who it was though in the NBA that he paid the fine every game. Yeah, I think it was so he could wear his own Jordans on the court because you had to wear whichever one it was.
Damn.
Nikes or whatever the league contract was. These are the shoes that you have to wear, and he would pay the fine every game so he could promote his own shoe.
Wow.
And since he was like the most well-known athlete in the world at the time, like His shoes blew up. That's why Jordan's are so big.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
damn.
Pretty cool.
Chump change, baby.
Yeah, right.
Just like that jersey coming in next week.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we got a few more. Nope, we got like a handful of news to get back into. New Jersey Devils here. Sad news for Devils fans as their assistant coach Andrew Brunette was arrested this week in Florida for a DUI in a golf cart when in Rome. Brunette joined the Devils after a stint as the Florida Panthers interim head coach. He took over the role in the fall of 2021 following Joel Quenneville's resignation, leading the Panthers to the number 1 seed and eventually the signing of Paul Maurice as their official head coach. What's your OSRS name again?
Oh, God, stop. I wish you didn't just do that. Yeah, I don't know what ended up happening that Brunette didn't end up becoming the head coach of the Florida Panthers, but definitely a weird go there. I think it was really just the fact that Paul Maurice ended up becoming available. I think he came over from Winnipeg. But, yeah, definitely kind of stinks to see that he worked that hard and then didn't really, took the interim role as a head coach and then still ends up being an assistant somewhere else. Just sucks to see a guy going through a tough time like that.
Like a push, yep, exactly. But dude was definitely enjoying Florida a little too much. So, nothing. I tried looking up. This happened this week, and I tried looking it up like right before we started recording, and there's really nothing much going on. So I'm sure we might hear about it later on this week, but I don't know if we're going to – I don't think we'll fucking – jump back on this unless something really crazy comes out of it. But other than that, he's got a Dewey, and hopefully he gets back on the team and figures stuff out. But we also have sad news before we get into other hockey news here. Bobby Hull, Brett Hull's father, has passed away at the age of 84. Bobby played in 1,504 career games, putting up 913 goals and 895 assists as a member of the Blackhawks, Jets, and Whalers. When I say hockey legend, I say hockey legend. I feel like when you talk about like legends in the NHL from like back in the day, Brett Hull or Bobby Hull just like comes up just in general, like the Hull brothers, So a whole family.
Yeah.
What I meant to say. But rest in peace to an absolute legend there. That was a crazy thing to see. I don't know, just like it's one of those guys that is like, dude, is just gonna outlive you, and then you saw the news, like, damn, that's rough,
tough to see. So rest in peace, Bobby Hull.
Right.
Thoughts and prayers for Brett too.
So for the other news, we're gonna jump into here the Ottawa Senators. The Senators organization has relieved their AHL affiliate Belleville Senators head coach Troy Mann. Mann reportedly gave pre-scouting material to another NHL team. Sources say there were trust issues already between the Senators and Troy Mann. Troy Mann already had the straw that broke the camel's back in this situation. David Bell will serve as interim head coach for the time being. And fun fact, Troy's brother Trent is the Ottawa Senators assistant GM. So that's going to be a fun Sunday dinner with family. But
that's so weird, man. Like, to see a rift like this between an AHL assistant coach and
AHL head coach.
AHL head coach and the NHL club, and like for them to have trust issues, like why is he even still on
there
your salary if you don't fully trust the guy?
Right.
Crazy to see him giving material away to another team. That just seems like so weird and conniving, and like what benefit does that give you? Like you think you doing that, like let's say, I'm not insinuating one team or another, but let's say, call it, I don't know, the Boston Bruins, right? If he's sliding these papers to them, he's like, hey, I got this for you guys. Do you think that's going to give you a leg up to get a job there? Because they're going to look at that and say, oh, look, that's what he's willing to do to that club. If we hire this guy, guess what?
He's going
to do the same thing somewhere else, So he's just, I don't know. It just looks like he's trying to get up the ladder. And for this to come out, too, after the stuff you heard, last season with the players complaining about, the head coaching and the management and everything, the way it was going in the Uber ride that should have never been released. Like, just more bad spotlight news for the Ottawa Senators. Kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's rough. But yeah, it's really fucked. So we just talked about pre-scouting material, and it's just, so what I mean by pre-scouting material, it means the pre-scouting report, which just means like it's comparing other like what am I trying to say? Prospects to other prospects, where they are, how's their shooting, how's their goals, how's their assists, this and this and this. And depending on if your scout for your organization is better than a scout for another organization, this could be very helpful to a different team.
Yeah, or if your team scouts haven't even looked at a guy and then you get this info and you're like, oh, I guess we should start watching him.
Right,
you know?
right, yep. So that could change an organization, like
the future of one.
The future of an organization, Yep. But we'll see. We'll see where this pans out with Troy Mann here. I don't think we're going to see him in any.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be trusted by anyone. He'll probably be blacklisted.
Yep, 100%. So we talked about a hockey legend with Bobby Hull and Brad Hull here, but we're going to jump into another one here with Henrik Zetterberg. Detroit Red Wings legend Henrik Zetterberg has made news this week after being inducted into the Swedish Hockey Hall of Fame. He joins a list of over 100 Swedish-born players like Mats Sundin, Peter Forsberg, and the late Borg Salming. Zetterberg recorded 960 points through 1,082 NHL games, all with the Red Wings from 2002 to 2018. He won the Conn Smythe and Stanley Cup in 2008, the King Clancy Memorial Trophy in 2015, and became a member of the very elite Triple Gold Club in 2008 when he won the Stanley Cup, adding it to his gold in 2006 in the World Championship and gold in the Olympics in that same year. Last year was the first year of eligibility to enter the Hockey Hall of Fame, but did not make the cut for that year's class. We will be seeing a Hockey Hall of Fame induction for Zetterberg in the years to come for sure. I saw this, and then I looked it up, and I was like, he's got to be in the Hockey Hall of Fame. And come to find out he wasn't. There's something on it that he was able to. I guess there's got to be like some years between you retiring and to a certain point.
Yeah, we talked about that with Jaromir Jagr because he's still active. He has to basically stop playing, and then he has to wait X amount of years before he can even be on the ballot.
Mm-hmm. So I guarantee we'll be seeing Henrik Zetterberg in the Hockey Hall of Fame soon enough. But dude, what an absolute leg, dude! Swedish leg, hockey leg. It's kind of cool to see him back in the news, man. I remember like back in the day, like Henrik Zetterberg was just kind of like I feel like a household name just in general. Like you see the Detroit Red Wings playing, you're like, oh, here comes Zetterberg. You know?
I agree. Yeah, that Red Wings team was nasty back in the day.
So
they were nuts.
Sick.
I fucking hated them. I was a Colorado guy. Not even joking.
But he was too good.
I started playing like NHL 2004, and that's when I really got into it. And I just loved 04 Colorado, Milan Hajduk, and Forsberg. It was sick. Sakic. Yeah, I was all about that.
The good old days.
The big foot logo, too, the Yeti foot.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Throwback.
So sick.
I do have some minor league news, too, if you're ready for it.
Yep.
AHL Grand Rapids player Dominic Shine has been suspended 2 games for flipping the bird from the penalty box. Gave him the old Andrew Ferentz treatment.
Whoop.
Yeah, that was kind of nuts. What do you think? 2 games fine for that?
Ugh. That's fine.
Lifetime ban?
Oh, fuck no. I don't know. 2 games is a little too much. It's only flipping the bird. Didn't really do much. Maybe 1 game.
I think like you got to eject him on the spot. Like, all right, you're fucking out of here.
100%. Yeah.
And then 1 game after that.
1 game.
Could call it like 1.5 games, right in the middle.
2 games is a little too much. But
WHL, though, the Connor Bedard show came to town and sold out the Saddle Dome where the Calgary Flames play. The Regina Pats would face the Calgary Hitmen there, and the capacity of the stadium was 19,289. One guy's
going to sell out a stadium.
Yeah. Everyone wants to get a look. Take a look at the future.
Yep. Number 1. Can you imagine if this guy? Imagine like we pump the tires of this guy, and we've already seen a few post game interviews with this dude, and just to see like how professional this kid is already. But to imagine that, like, what if he turns into like another Shane Wright at this draft, where just like the number 1 draft pick like interviews him and just like, nah, this isn't that dude.
Well, yeah, anything could happen. I mean, it depends on what team lands that number 1 spot, right? You think about it and how his interview goes with that team. But I think that this guy is different. He is a generational talent. Shane Wright hadn't really gotten talked about like this. It's not in a negative way. It's just we've been talking about Connor Bedard since we started this podcast, which was almost 2 years ago now, or more than 2 years ago. And he was probably, 15 at the time? So, we weren't talking about anyone that young back then. And he was probably, I think he was playing up 2 years over his age range. And it's just like a generational talent. It's not going to be a situation like that, but I think no matter who gets the number 1 overall pick, they're taking him.
I really want to see him be the guy that I think he is, where just like you can just throw him right into the NHL and he'll be fine. Like I want to see like next year him playing and just like Connor McDavid, Sidney Crosby, who am I saying? Austin Matthews, David Pastrnak.
Dude, it can't be like that.
I want to see him dangle through all of them. I want to see their cuffs
like
and
that.
the fucking nosebleeds.
No, it can't.
Make them look all like fucking silly children.
That's not an option. But I could see him slotting in nicely on a second, third line team. I mean, Matty Beniers, first line guy for the Seattle Kraken, his first year in the league. So who knows? Maybe he will be the first line starter. But I mean, we don't see. I don't know. I don't see him taking down the top tier talent in the NHL year one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
But
maybe dangling through him a few times.
Yeah, he'll be dusting backup goalies left and right.
Oh yeah, backup goalies. I think you're right, because he's going to end up on some shit-ass team, and usually when you play like a crap team, you usually throw your like second goalie in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. It probably won't be a starter. It'll be some backup.
I feel like, too, it doesn't matter what team he goes to. I think even if the teams are bad, like all the teams that are very bad right now have a bright future ahead of them. Like the only outliers, I think, are Chicago, they're working on it. They'll get there. Mm-hmm. And maybe Arizona. But Arizona even has like Clayton Keller, and Vejmelka looks pretty good. Like, I wouldn't say they look bleak. The future looks good in Anaheim. Vancouver's working through it. I think they have good talent there still. JT Miller, and I don't know. I think I don't know. Like, what team do you think is in the worst situation right now in the league? I feel like it's got to be Chicago.
It's interesting.
Like, where the future doesn't look good and the team is very bad right now.
Oh, yeah. That's probably Chicago.
Right?
Chicago.
Like, Detroit has Lucas Raymond and, oh, Jesus Christ.
Detroit's looking good.
Yeah, Detroit's going to be fine eventually.
Can I go back to Bedard real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Because I just got some news here. Connor Bedard failed to record... Sorry, let me say this again. Connor Bedard failed to record a point for the first time in 35 WHL games. He had 44 goals and 90 points over that span. And then someone just commented, dude just slipped out of the first round.
Yeah, that's great. I was just thinking that in my head, too. I was going to fire that one over. Like, well, there goes first overall.
Oh, fuck it. But, sorry, I completely fucking...
No, yeah, that's good.
Cut you off there. But, it's up there. Arizona Coyotes?
I think with Clayton Keller and Vejmelka, I think that's enough to, they got the picks, draft picks, things like that. But I think they're a close second. Anaheim has Troy Terry, Trevor Zegras, Gibson if he sticks around. Like, I think they're looking okay. Future,
baby. That's all we need. Good futures for these organizations.
Yeah, got that right.
Especially the Vancouver Canucks. But yeah, we're gonna do this one to the Hulls. I can't think of a better shot to do it to. Another legend.
Yeah.
Cheers,
buddy.
Yeah. I had some of that pumpkin shit during the podcast, so mixing
Drinking it right now.
I'm already done.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, but mixing the pumpkin shit with the Dr. McGillicuddy's was
it's a good mix.
It's an interesting choice.
It's like a pumpkin spice latte.
It's like, you ever watch Dodgeball?
Yeah.
Obviously. In the beginning where he's like brushing his teeth and like rinses his mouth with like the Yoo-Hoo chocolate milk?
Oh, no, I don't remember that. That's gross,
you don't?
though. No.
Oh, man, that's like...
Who is it? Is it Patches O'Houlihan that does that?
No, who's the lead guy right there?
Vince Vaughn?
Vince Vaughn.
He does that?
Yeah.
Wow.
He like rinses his mouth with like the Yoo-Hoo chocolate milk. And I don't know why it made me think of it, but it did. It's just a weird combination of fucking menthol mint and pumpkin.
That's gross.
It's almost like I'll just brush my teeth and just wash it down with some pumpkin
orange juice.
Beer, yeah.
Oh, orange juice is the worst after you brush your teeth.
Oh.
Have you ever done that?
I've done it, yeah.
Mix is so bad, dude. Gatorade's sometimes bad, too. Blue Gatorade after you brush your teeth.
You learn the hard way.
Yeah. And then you do it again a couple times.
Do you brush your teeth before you eat or after you eat?
After I eat.
After
Well,
in the morning.
technically both. Because I'll wake up.
Really?
Yeah, because I won't eat, like... I'll probably get up, like, first thing I do is brush my teeth because I'm like, I hate the way my breath tastes in the morning. Like, it's foul. Mm-hmm. And then I'll brush my teeth, get in the shower, get ready, and then I come downstairs and eat breakfast. And then before I leave, I'll brush my teeth again.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
They would just try to like hack it and like get like a Listerine, do Listerine when you wake up, and then later on just brush your teeth.
No.
I don't know, just a thought.
No, that's foul.
Really? You don't like Listerine?
No, I do. I gotta brush my teeth.
Okay.
I'm a big toothbrushing guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like to brush your teeth.
Yeah. Big dentist guy. I like going to the dentist. I sit down. I'm like, just fuck me up, fam. Just get in there, make me bleed.
Rip out some teeth if you need to.
Yeah.
Dude.
They get in there and berate me too. They're like, you suck. You don't do this. You don't do that. I'm like, buddy, come on. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm flossing. I'm doing all the right things. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm still hurting from the dentist I went to.
Yeah, you got fucked up.
I got another bill in the mail. They asked for like $300. So I was like, so the anesthesia doesn't go into it doesn't. What am I trying to say?
It's not covered by your insurance.
It's not covered by any insurance. Like even kids' insurance, it doesn't go in. That was $700 out of fucking pocket. So I had to do that. And then I thought I was all set. And then like literally this week, I got a letter in the mail from the dentist. I'm like, the hell is this? And so I look it up. It's like a list of like stuff. And I'm like, oh, it's just kind of like showing me what happened. Maybe just like And then I look at the bottom. I'm like, dude, there's no fucking way I still owe like $300. I'm like, this has been brutal. But
That's
whatever.
terrible.
It is what it is. 3 less teeth to brush. I can't even...
That's funny.
With that said, want to call us out?
Yeah, thanks everyone for listening. If there's anything you want to see us cover, head on over to posttopostpod.com and let us know.
Thank you.
We'll see you all next week.
Bye, guys.
Peace.